at the hunting lease in Central Alabama. If you watched that last video, man, what a mess that was. Had the shot, but I stood up too long with my muscles tight, and when it came time to make that shot, I just couldn't get the bow back. Everything seemed to freeze up, and my knees seemed to lock. So this time I've changed a few things. I've been practicing, been shooting, but mainly what it boils down to is just nerves. You know, when you're standing there face to face with that deer and you're trying not to move, and it can see you even if you blink. So it's makes you a little bit shaky. But anyway, we're going to try it again today, and hopefully things will turn out for the better. So let's go. Well, it's always something. I got out here walking to my tree and realized that I forgot my seat that goes in my climber. So hopefully my little hunting buddy is going to pick that seat up for me, bring it to me, and I can resume this hunt. Always something. Seat to my climber. Time to get busy. I got up in the tree, and about 20 minutes later, here comes the first deer. It stood around like it was just waiting on the feeder to go off, almost like it was wearing a watch. A few minutes later, corn shot out of the feeder, and he ate all the corn up. I didn't see anything the rest of the day. Well, that's day one in the books. Not much luck. Just saw that one little deer hanging out under the feeder. No size to it. But it was a beautiful afternoon, just hanging out, watching Mother Nature. So let's call it a day for today. Head back to the cabin, head into town and get something to eat. Hey, so as you can see, that last hunting effort was a little bit fruitless. Didn't see too much. It was just a one-day quick trip up to the woods. But when I was up there, I measured my distance from my climber to where the deer would probably be, which is about 22, 23 yards. And sometimes shooting at an elevation is a little bit different than shooting at ground level. So basically what I did is standing up there, right there on the roof of the barn, and I got my target right here set at 22 yards. So practice makes perfect, the more the better. So I'm going to take a few shots, and on my next trip, I'll be dead on. Okay, so at an elevation, 22, 23 yards, right in the bullseye. So something happens and I miss a deer or make a bad shot, it's not on the bow, it's all on me. So hopefully we got this thing sighted in. Let's take it back to the woods. Okay, so we're gonna try a little afternoon hunt here up at my little buddy's private property up here in South Alabama. And I've hunted here before. I've seen a couple little deer here, but we got a pretty good setup here. I'm sitting in a lock-on climber here, so maybe we'll get some luck. So this is my spot, and got a feeder over there. If you can see that feeder over there, that's about 50 yards away. Of course, that's not in range by no means, but we've also got a scrape tree right here, kind of in the middle of the plot there. That's where I'm hoping to get my shot. I got a good wind. The wind's blowing in my face. So hopefully they'll come out and feed around on that feeder and then maybe take a little stroll around the plot and something good will happen. So let's see. All right, we got a good afternoon. Nice and quiet, got a good wind. Got about 20 minutes before the feeder goes off. Hopefully we'll get us a deer out here this afternoon. My little buddy, Captain Jack, had told me that he had had a good deer on the camera a few days prior, and it was working over this tree really good. I couldn't wait to get up there, and I had a good feeling about today. The conditions were just right. And sure enough, about 30 minutes later, I see those white horns appear on the far end of the patch. My heart began to race as I saw the deer heading over towards the feeder. At the last minute, he changed his mind, took a look at it, and decided he would head back over to the scrape tree that's about 24 or 25 yards directly in front of my lock-on ladder stand. At this point, things began to get crazy, and my heart was pounding like a freight train. He continued to feed around in the patch, but I just knew he was coming my way. I was still sitting down in the lock-on ladder stand, and I could not decide if I wanted to try to stand up or just stay seated for a little while. I decided to stay seated and just not move and let him work his way closer. He was now about 25 yards away from me, but not where I wanted to make my shot. I knew he was going to walk on around the corner towards that scrape tree, so I just decided to stay patient and try to keep my nerves. There was a few times I thought he saw me. He looked like he was looking straight at me. Right here, I thought he saw me, and I just knew he was going to bolt. But he stayed calm, I stayed calm, and everything was working out just right. He worked his way around the corner and came into range. The camera couldn't pick him up because it was behind this clump of pine needles. I took the shot, and I immediately knew it went right over his back when he ducked. He ran off around the corner, and I saw him stop, take a few looks, and continue to just walk out of view. My heart sank like a rock. I nocked another arrow, hoping against all odds that maybe something else would walk out on the plot, but I didn't see anything else the rest of the day. Shortly before dark, I decided I would take another shot at my arrow that was still sticking in the ground, just to make sure that my bow was on sight. Sure enough, it ended up being within about 2 inches of the arrow I had just shot. It definitely wasn't the bow that made the bad shot. It was all me. I think I shot towards the midline of the deer, and he ducked down right before the arrow got there and got super lucky and ran off without a hair missing. His lucky day, but hey, he'll live to see another one. Oh my goodness. That was an exciting hunt. That was crazy. The most nerve-wracking thing I think I've ever done in my life. I missed that deer by probably 3 or 4 inches right over his back. Man. But anyway, just to make sure, I went and got my arrows, checked them. Absolutely no blood. I knew there wouldn't be because he just eased on off. Thought he might come back, but he never did. But man, whew, my nerves are still shot. It's going to take a while to get over this, but good thing about it, I didn't hit him. I didn't draw any blood, so he'll live to maybe get through till next year. Maybe we'll see him again. But hunting season is not over. I'm going to try a few more times, but maybe practice on some pigs or something. But what a blast this bow hunting is. Spent the whole season bow hunting and never got anything, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do it again next year. Hey, thank you guys for watching this video. If any of you bow hunters out there have any tips or tricks or advice, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. But everybody else, thanks again for watching. Y'all have a blessed day. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel.